Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Raphael Varane is allegedly already house hunting in Manchester. Raphael Varane likes Man United's offer to join. Man United want a third significant signing after the Varane transfer. It says yesterday Raphael Varane's move to Man United could be delayed. He's happy to wait another year for a switch to Man United. Fabrizio Romano said yesterday that Man United are now back in direct contact with Real Madrid for Varane after opening talks weeks ago. Negotiations on the personal terms are not an issue. He also said that Man United are still awaiting Real Madrid's response on the Varane approach. Sky Sports said the other day that Man United have been given permission to approach Varane over the personal terms. It says Man United are close to agreeing the personal terms with Varane. Varane's move to Man United edges closer. A swap deal has been discussed. It says Man United are willing to offer Paul Pogba or Donny van der Beek as part of the Varane deal. Raphael Varane is planning to travel to Manchester after his current holiday. We're hoping to get Varane for £50 million. He says Man United and Real Madrid are €5 million apart in their valuation for Varane. But the other week, Varane had given his word to Man United that he wants to join. Real Madrid offered Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. Varane's current contract at Real Madrid expires next year. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. Being a long-serving player at Real Madrid, he's been with them over 10 years. He's made 360 appearances in all competitions and he's won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid, so reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree as a player. And he will exceed expectations in the Premier League, and you know, if it comes to Man United, what a centre-back partnership that would be. You know, Varane and Harry Maguire, they complement each other very well. It said the other week that Real Madrid wanted Donny van der Beek on loan as part of the Varane deal. Now, according to Sky in Italy, Roma are in talks to sign Alex Telles as a replacement for the injured Leonardo Spinazzola. Alex Telles has only endured one season at Manchester United. Telles has only made 9 appearances in the Premier League. When we got Telles last year, I expected him to be our first choice left back immediately. But we've seen to have got the best out of Luke Shaw since Tellez come in. Obviously, we brought Tellez in to provide competition for Shaw. We got Tellez for 15.4 million from Porto. He's under contract with Man United until 2024. So that's the news on that. Earlier on today, I gave you the news on Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford is going to be out until the end of October. Rashford has decided to undergo surgery on his shoulder. Now, hundreds of people showed their support for Rashford at the memorial. Marcus Rashford was racially abused. Saka was also racially abused, and so too was Jadon Sancho after the final against Italy. Rashford, Saka and Sancho missed all of their penalties. Marcus Rashford was a bench warmer during the tournament. But yeah, he's going to be a big miss for us. You know, Rashford's an imperative player for Man United. There is aspects of his game that have got to improve. Rashford's obviously endured his bad periods. And he has become injury prone. We need to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left-hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. I'm expecting Man United to endure a very good summer transfer window. It's about time, because our recruitment was poor for so long. I am convinced that Solskjaer's going to get all the players he wants to recommend in this summer transfer window. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. So far, we've made 2 signings in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free transfer from Aston Villa, and we brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Solskjaer's made it clear that he wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window. Because Solskjaer's ambition for next season is to win the Premier League. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. But the board said, didn't they, they'll back Solskjaer with summer signings and a new 3-year contract. And before the summer transfer window opened, it said Solskjaer had been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer. He is aware of that. It's very imperative that we start off next season strongly. Because if we start off next season badly, Solskjaer will be under pressure. Solskjaer must go with his best 11 next season. I think he does know his best 11. He must improve his decision making as well next season, because in a lot of the games he's managed so far at Man United he's been tactically naive. And I think Solskjaer needs to win a trophy next season. You know, he's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, which is 4 years ago now. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. I'm expecting Man United to offload players in this summer transfer window, so reflecting on that will generate money. De Gea, we could sell him in this summer transfer window, but I don't think it'll happen. I don't. I think De Gea will remain with us for next season. I think De Gea is set to hold talks with Solskjaer over his future because the Euros are now over. ESPN said that De Gea is unsure on Solskjaer's final decision. De Gea said he's determined to fight for his future. Said not so long ago he could be loaned out by Man United for next season to make room in the goalkeeping department, because De Gea's future is in doubt following the arrival of Tom Heaton. If we was to sell De Gea in this summer transfer window, I reckon we'd get from between 40 to 50 million pounds. De Gea's been long serving at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club, and he's had 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us, because in the last couple of years he's been a liability because he's made mistakes. But a few years ago he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. He's won everything domestically at the football club. He's made over 500 appearances for us in all competitions. And he was our number one for such a long time. De Gea is on £375,000 a week. Alex Telles, you know, he could be leaving Man United. Brandon Williams, he's going out on loan. The last time I read up it said that Brandon Williams is close to joining Southampton on loan. It's the right decision though, because obviously it will gain Brandon Williams more experience and he'll get a lot more opportunities. Williams seldom plays for us. He's our third choice left back. I think he made 14 appearances last season. Only 5 of them were starts, but in the 2019-20 season he made 36 appearances. He got a lot of game time that particular season. That's only because Luke Shaw had a couple of periods out with injury. Phil Jones, I'm expecting us to offload him in this summer transfer window. Phil Jones has always been inconsistent. He doesn't get in our 11 and he was out with injury for a while last season. Jones is the only outfield player that's still here from the Ferguson era. He's been a long-serving player though. He's endured 10 years at Man United. I think we got Phil Jones back in 2012 from Blackburn. Tuan Zebe, he's going out on loan. Diego Dalot, I presume he's leaving. He was out on loan with AC Milan. Andres Pereira, I think we'll be looking to get rid of him permanently. He was out on loan with Lazio. It's imminent that Lingard is leaving. I think Lingard is close to going to West Ham. Lingard was out on loan with West Ham last season and he made a fantastic impact. I think we want around 25 million for Lingard. Lingard's current contract expires next year with Man United. But not so long ago, he said that Lingard told Solskjaer in a meeting that he wants to stay at Man United and he demanded regular game time. And it said we offered Lingard a new 3-year contract worth £130,000 a week. The reason we loaned him out in January is because he got frozen out of our squad. Paul Pogba, you know, we could offload him in this summer transfer window. I hope not though, because Pogba's an imperative player. And it does make the difference when he's in the team. Pogba produced his best performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. At one point last season though, he was out with a thigh injury for a while. Now, it recently said that Pogba will decide on his future this week. You know, he'll decide whether he's staying at Man United or going to PSG. Foot Mercato said that Pogba wants to join PSG this summer. Man United have set their asking price for Pogba. It's £50 million. The asking price has not put PSG off. It says Man United could demand 4 players as part of the Paul Pogba swap deal with PSG, but PSG have stepped up their interest. PSG wants to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. Julian Lawn said that PSG are considering a move, and last week was it Fabrizio Romano said PSG are interested in signing Pogba and they've made contact with Pogba's representatives. Mini Oriola's held talks with PSG's president. I'm hoping we can get Pogba a new contract. At one point, Sky Sports News said that Man United were in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. And it said we wanted to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth £104 million. Because it said we fear losing Pogba on a free transfer. His current contract expires next year because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. You know, he hasn't only been linked with PSG, he's been linked with Real Madrid. He's been relentlessly linked with his former club Juventus. He endured 4 good years with them before he rejoined Man United, and he's been linked with Barcelona and Inter Milan before. Pogba's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined. He's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. You know, swap deals have been on the agenda. Obviously, the other week there was talks of a Varane and Pogba swap deal. There was also talks of a Cristiano Ronaldo and Paul Pogba swap deal. Donny van der Beek, there's a good chance we're going to offload him in this summer transfer window. It's the right decision to offload him. Nothing to do with him being a bad player. It's just that he's unhappy and he hasn't been given enough starts. You know, Van der Beek's made like 36 appearances for Man United in all competitions. And most of them appearances came from the bench. I recall Van der Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. He's only enjoyed 1 full season at Man United. Obviously before the Euros it says that Van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future, and he did get ruled out of the Euros through injury. So from his perspective he would have been disappointed with that, as well as his lack of game time at Man United. We got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax last year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Initially, I thought Anthony Martial was going to be leaving, but recent reports have said that Martial is now staying. If he remains at Man United for next season, I will be disappointed. And I initially thought Matic was leaving, but recent reports have said that Matic is going to be staying at Man United. But there is a lot of players that are going to stay at Man United. And I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. I reckon Dean Henderson's going to stay with us. It said not so long ago that Solskjaer's chosen Dean Henderson to be our number one for next season, which is the right decision. Because he's reliable enough to be our number one, and Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. And he's got that experience behind him. Before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the club. I can assure Luke Shaw will be staying with us. I thought Luke Shaw enjoyed a good tournament for England. Obviously scored the first goal in the final. And I thought he was our best player last season. Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles. And I reckon he's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Shaw has been at Man United now for over 7 years. I think Fabrizio Romano did say that Man United are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. I can assure Harry Maguire will stay with us. I don't know how long for. Harry Maguire didn't do bad in the tournament for England. He's had some good games at Man United. He was a big miss for us though towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. We overpaid for Harry Maguire. We got him in a deal worth 80 million from Leicester. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Eric Bailly, he's going to be staying with us. Because towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. It probably was a mistake giving him that new contract. Bailly's a good centre-half. My only element of concern about him is injury prone, so in that aspect he's a liability. Bailly's been with us now over 5 years. We got him for 30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. Victor Lindelof will remain with us, but I can assure he hasn't got a long-term future at Man United. I've got my strong reservations about Lindelof. We got him from Benfica for 31 million back in 2017. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he'll also stay with us. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is one of the best right-backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, he's always been superb. But he's got to show more attacking intent. But there was some games last season where he got forward well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has enjoyed 2 full seasons at Man United. We got him in a deal worth 50 million from Palace in the summer of 2019. Scott McTominay will stay with us. McTominay needs more time. You know, he's still young. He's developing. You know, can he emulate that level where I want him to be at? You know, McTominay has been part of the club for a long time as it stands. Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United. Like I said, Matic, you know, I heard that he's going to be staying with us. I think Fred will stay with us, but probably not long term from now. Fred's already been at the club a few years. We overpaid for Fred. We got him in a deal worth £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Bruno Fernandes, obviously he's going to stay at Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Man United are looking at a new contract for Bruno Fernandes. It said towards the end of last season that Man United were willing to double Bruno Fernandes' wages to £200,000 a week. Fernandes' current contract with us expires in 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. But Fernandes is our best player and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Fernandes must have been at Man United now a good 18-19 months. In most of his games at Man United he's been very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace, but we have overplayed him. Fernandes won Player of the Year last season and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times as well. because of his good performances. We got Fernandes in a deal worth just over £67 million from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. He predominantly plays as a number 10. Mason Greenwood, obviously he'll stay at Man United. There could possibly be a problem with Mason Greenwood though, with obviously Sancho now here. Because Sancho's predominantly a right winger and Greenwood plays on the right a lot. But there again, you can play Greenwood centrally, but that means then Edison Cavani would have to drop out. Greenwood's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad, despite him going a long period without scoring. Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. You know, he's been a United player since the age of 7, and last season Greenwood signed a 4-year contract with Man United. Juan Mata looks like he's going to be staying with us as well for next season, because not so long ago Juan Mata extended his contract until June 2022. Marcus Rashford's obviously going to be staying with us. Like I said earlier on, he's going to be missing the first 2 months of the season, or is it 3 months? Edison Cavani, obviously he's staying with us for next season, which is good news because Cavani's made an impact since he's come in. Fabrizio Romano said towards the end of last season that Cavani agreed a 1-year contract. So there you go. So guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.